Well, tomorrow marks 1 year since our Capitol was attacked by a mob of violent Trump supporters. Hundreds of members of Congress were evacuated from the House floor. New at 10:30, our chief political correspondent, Emma Withrow, tells us the story of what happened that day from their perspective.
Throughout my political report card series, I asked each member of Congress the same question. Where were you on January 6th? Most of them were in the same place, the House chamber, but they all recalled the event a bit differently. The morning of January 6th was just like any other morning, but by noon, that had all changed. Thousands of supporters of former President Donald Trump gathered outside the White House for the Save America rally. That's also where newly elected Congressman Madison Cawthorn of North Carolina was speaking.
The Democrats, with all the fraud they have done in this election, the Republicans hiding and not fighting, they are trying to silence your voice.
Instead of going home or back to their hotels after the rally ended, thousands of Trump supporters headed to the Capitol. What happened next would put January 6th in the history books and all members of Congress in danger.
They broke the glass?
It's kind of like at a football game, you hear the roar was faint and then it got right there, and then you had the doors being, people rushing the doors, and they rushed us out.
Congressman Ralph Norman was on the House floor when the Capitol was breached by rioters.
They got all these tunnels in Washington that they put us in. But imagine, we had probably, of the 435, we probably had 300 of us in there.
Congressman Ted Budd was one of those 300 members.
Remember, we were just sworn in 3 days before, so a lot of new members there, helping people figure out what to do, just like people had helped me out 4 years prior. So we were on the floor. We were told by the sergeant of arms, we need to evacuate. And there was no partisanship at that moment. Arm was around an elderly member from the other party to help her get down the stairs and to safety. So there was not, in the House at that moment, it was not a partisan moment. We were just trying to help one another get to safety.
But partisan politics had been at the forefront of the conversation just minutes before. Republicans in the House and the Senate were objecting to counting the Electoral College votes, a process that most anticipated to take over 24 hours.
The shame of it, though, is that we were winning the debate that day on the House floor. Those of us who saw very clearly that the Constitution lays out that only state legislatures can set election laws. And in several states, including North Carolina, other people changed the election law in violation of the Constitution.
Most Democrats would disagree, though. Congresswoman Alma Adams never made it to the House chamber that day. Once she heard about the violent protests happening right outside the Capitol, she got a bad feeling in the pit of her stomach and decided not to go into the chamber for the debate.
All of the alarms started going off, and we got warning signals on our computer, and it was telling you to shelter in place. It's very turbulent here, but very scary.
But Adams said once the Capitol Police said the building was secured, she was ready to get back to work and certify the election results. Congressman William Timmons of South Carolina was glad the destruction didn't last for very long.
I was very, very upset by the manner in which that day transpired. But the good news is it was only 3-ish hours that we were not in total control of the Capitol. And I just think it could have been a lot worse. So I think we're fortunate, and we're going to learn from it, and it'll never happen again.
Congressman Dan Bishop condemns the violence that happened that day, but has a different outlook on the protest as a whole.
The great majority of the people who came to Washington to participate in the protest were doing what Americans can and should do. That's what their right is, to participate in political protest, petition their government for redress.
As for Madison Cawthorn, his rallying remarks are still following him.
We remember how his lies encouraged a deadly attack on our nation's capital.
All of the Republicans I interviewed in my political report card series voted against forming an independent commission to investigate the attack on the Capitol. Most of them saying it was just a political spectacle. But Charlotte's Congresswoman Alma Adams voted for the commission, demanding answers for why and how this tragic event happened. Now, 1 year after glass was broken and people were killed at our nation's capital, the level of security there remains high. In the studio, Emma Withrow, Fox 46.